The Hawks-Bulldogs game is right around the corner, and Sam Mitchell has made some interesting selections as a lineup going into the game. He also made a few interesting comments over the radio during the week that we need to talk about, so let's get into it. G'day guys, ET Footy with a little preview of the Hawks-Bulldogs practice match. Firstly, let's start with the lineup. I'll have it up on screen, but let's just go over who is missing. Okay, so the few main ones are Barris, Amon, and Deer. Barris tweaked his back the other week. He should be good for opening round. I think it's more of just a precaution to rest him for this game. Same with Amon. We don't know if there's an injury or not, but from what I've heard, he's just being rested for now. He played against Geelong in the match sim, and he should be good for opening round by a report, so always good signs. The Calciadie, on the other hand, it's a bit of a weird one. I'll just read you the quote from Sam Mitchell during the week. Sam quotes, "He hasn't been at his best. We're looking at trying to get the mix right. He's down in confidence at the moment, up against it for round 0. Look, at first glance, I'll be honest, I don't know how to take this. Don't forget, he did have a pretty hard knock during the Cats match sim last week, but I'm pretty sure he played out the rest of the game or even the rest of the quarter, whatever it was. So I'm assuming it's just precaution, but yeah, honestly, I don't know. Maybe he's maybe it's just a rest, and he's saying this to sort of throw off GWS in opening round, maybe just to sort of mix their back line up, because as we know, Sam Taylor, their All-Australian fullback, won't be playing in opening round. So there's that, but maybe it's just a precaution. Who knows with Sam Mitchell? You know, he's smart enough to play mind games like this. So yeah, we don't know, but as for now, Calciadie will be an emergency. He's still labelled in the emergency, by the way, but he's an emergency for the Bulldogs game. Also, another surprise player that's not going to be playing against the Dogs, Ned Reeves, but he has been labelled in the emergency lineup. Look, I'm not sure if Ned Reeves is going to be in the team for most of this year. Some people are saying that he's going to play, 20-odd games. Other people are saying he's probably only going to play if Meek is out of form or injured, or even if Meek can't keep up with these new ruck rules, which I'm assuming he will be able to, but yeah, we're not sure. I thought maybe in the practice match it wouldn't be a bad idea just to sort of try it out a little bit, but at the same time, Aiden Schubert's in the team, Joel's in the team, Nash and Weddle can play a bit of ruck just around the ground, so I feel like we've got enough depth in the ruck, at least for just a practice match, but yeah, Ned Reeves has been labelled an emergency. Now, there's a few players in the team that probably won't play opening round, just young guys. We have Noel Mraz, Aiden Schubert, and Matt Hill, which is a big surprise, to be honest. So another Sam Mitchell quote on the radio during the week was, referring to Aiden Schubert and Noel Mraz, quote, "Both showing great potential. We need to start getting some youth in after no debuts last season." I think this is great, and they're probably the two best players to get into the team right now. Obviously, Noel Mraz hasn't played a game, and he's a full-back, so he's probably the first backup player for Tom Barris. Unfortunately, he's only in year 2, but pretty much, we have obviously a lot of depth in the sort of the third tall / key position down back, but yeah, Noel Mraz coming in. I like it. I think Mraz is going to be a really good player. He showed really good signs in the Geelong match sim. So yeah, on to Schubert. I think Schubert's been looking really, really good, and he's probably going to be one of the steals of his draft class. I think he had 3 or 4 marks inside 50 in one quarter in the Geelong match sim, obviously against a weaker opponent, no Tom Stewart or anything like that, but yeah, still, in his first ever sort of real-ish hit out at AFL level, he did do very well in a small sample size too. So, also no Ollie Greaves, which is a bit disappointing, to be expected, to be honest. I was just looking forward to seeing him play, but yeah, on to Sam Mitchell's quotes he said on the radio during this week. I've already mentioned a couple, so I'll keep it quick. Tom Barris, it's a minor injury, but he'll be available for opening round, so that's great. Carl Amon, he's just being managed at the moment, Mitchell says. He's got ongoing knee stuff. He didn't need the run this week. Good call. Good call. You don't need to push any player. At this point, if players are ready to play, obviously, which they should be a week before the start of the season, play them. But if it's sort of a 50-50, even if they're just sore, don't play them. The next is on Ned Reeves, and this is pretty interesting, I think. Quote, "Open-minded about 2 rucks. He's had a really good preseason. He'll play a full game in the VFL. I wouldn't say we are only 100% locked in to 2 rucks." So by that, I'm assuming that Ned Reeves is only going to play when he's sort of absolutely needed. People are saying, yeah, Reeves is going to play 15 to 20 games because he signed a 3-year deal. He's getting paid decent money for someone who's playing mostly in the VFL. No, he's there because if Reeves left, who's the backup ruckman after that? We seriously don't have one. There was another one on Schubert and Mraz, which I've already covered. The next is Josh Weddle. Quote, "I don't think he'll be an inside mid in the first half of the season." That's very interesting. He will do some work there tonight, but won't start there. All right, so Weddle is not going to be an on-baller, at least not straight away. I feel like they're going to develop him slowly. Obviously, the quote just said he's not going to play on ball in the first half of the season, but let's just say he played 50-50 on ball, half back. You got to do that first and slowly build them up. So I think this is smart by Sam Mitchell. Also, I'm assuming he's going to play on the wing, and maybe Morrison sort of is on the out of the best 23 now. If Weddle can be the next best wingman or even the best wingman, Mass is him and Mass being a 1-2 punch, then it works. Who are the three? Like, think about this right now. If Newcomb's not on the ball, if he's on the bench or injured, who are the best 3 on ballers to have in the team? I think Josh Ward would be number 1 because he's obviously going to start there. No Warple Day. It would be Josh Ward. And then you would have to go with Dylan Moore because he's arguably the second best mid behind Newcomb anyway, even though he's 50-50 forward mid at this point. And then maybe Weddle, just for the bigger body, the versatility. He's quick. He can run all day. He can sort of like go into the ruck a little bit. Like if he was on the ball, like as a ruckman around the ground, Hawthorn played the extra on ball like a Nash or something, I think it could work, but it's going to be interesting to see. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on that. That was my little update / preview into the Bulldogs Hawthorn match sim game. Comment down below your thoughts and opinions. Who's going to win, you reckon? Which young guys are going to step up and play well, and who will be best on ground tonight? Comment down below your thoughts and opinions.